Hello and welcome to Baron's Game Room. I'm Aaron as always, and it's the new year, so I've had new on my mind a lot lately, and I was trying to think what could I do for a video on that, and I decided new games. But I don't mean new games like new releases. I mean prototype games. Some of you may not know that we here at the Baron's Game Room don't just review games, we actually make games too. That's right, my partner and I design, develop, and publish our very own tabletop games. Yes, you heard that right. I'm not just funny, charming, and handsome. I'm also talented. But enough about all that. Let's get on with the video. Today, I want to tell you guys some tips and advice I have about making your own tabletop game. So the first bit of advice I want to give is probably what I would consider the most important bit of advice I have to give. I don't want to hold it all to the end because I don't want to risk you maybe not hanging around for it. I want to make sure everyone who considers making their own game hears this bit of advice, which is make the game. Make that prototype. Don't wait. I've seen too many people stuck on step one. They have this idea and they spend this big long time planning out every little detail they can think of. But hey, you don't need that right away. Don't waste months of your time designing and planning out something that when you finally get to the table, you find out it just doesn't work, or worse yet, it's not fun. Make a prototype as fast as possible. Just figure out the mechanics you want to use and like a handful of rules to kind of make some playable thing that's possible to play and get it to the table, okay? That's my number one advice for everyone. If you don't watch any of the rest of this video, please listen to that part. Make the game. Now, number two, my next bit of advice is, I think it's pretty obvious that you need to play your game a lot. Lots and lots and lots. You probably can't play your game too many times. However, you can play your game too many times with the same people. So that's my number two, is get your game in front of as many different people as possible, okay? You've played your game so many times, maybe your friends that you drag over have played this game so many times that you're not noticing these little issues that other players are going to find. Or maybe you've gotten used to the wording on a card, so you don't realize that other people are going to read that card and get very confused. Get your game in front of different people. Now, number three kind of goes along with the last one in that you need to be okay with stepping away from your game. And I mean that on two levels. I mean that on the lighter level of if you're having, mental block or whatever, just step away. It's okay. Take some time, go play other games, come back to it later. You often find that a little bit of time away helps you figure out things. You'll see things with new eyes you didn't see before, and suddenly things will start clicking. But also, on a bigger sense too, it's okay to step away from a game. Every game designer at some point has had some idea that they just absolutely love. They want to make this game so bad, but it's just not working. You've got to know when to let it go. Honestly, a lot of times, you'll probably find ways to reuse some of those cool ideas and mechanics in different ways in other games. Understand what you truly find to be important and necessary to this game, and learn when to let something go. The last bit of advice I have for this video is going to be a little different depending on whether you are self-publishing your game or you are planning to sell your game idea to a publisher. If you are self-publishing your game, then my advice is it's never too early to start on your art assets and your card designs, graphic design, all that. It's a long process. Get you a logo made up, start picking out fonts and all that. Have at it. If you want to sell your idea to another publisher, then my advice is screw it. Don't worry about art. Don't even think about art. Because the reality of it is, when you try to sell your game to a publisher, they are almost certainly not going to use any of the art assets that you have made up. Doesn't matter what you've paid for, no matter how much you think it's the best for it all, they are almost certainly not going to use a single bit of it. So do not waste your time. And if you're still watching the video, I hope you really found some of that helpful and useful. I do plan on making some more videos later where I go more in depth about each of the little parts of this list. Thanks for listening, guys. Catch you next time. One last thing before I go. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments.